Hello everybody, so my name is Talicia. I'm here at M&M Kayaks in the beautiful White Mountains of Arizona in Pine Top, and today I'm going to give you some ideas of things to consider when you are wanting to buy a kayak. So let's jump right in. So the first question I usually tend to ask people that are interested in buying a kayak, especially up here where we live, is are you a fisherman and are you planning to fish out of your kayak? Because of course a fishing kayak like this one is a completely different style than a recreational kayak or even a cross between both. Because some people are just looking to buy a kayak primarily for fishing and some primarily for just recreational paddling, touring, all that kind of stuff. Or maybe you want to cross between both. There are plenty of options, but that's usually where I first start to narrow you down. So that's the first question to ask yourself. Are you wanting to fish? If yes, is it primarily for fishing or a little bit of both, like I said? So yeah, that's the first question to ask yourself. So the next question I would ask you, if you have any experience, if you've kayaked before or if you haven't, if you prefer a sit-on-top kayak or a sit-inside kayak is another question to ask. If you don't know, check out our other video. I will link it down below in the description box and hopefully put a pop-up somewhere on the screen here talking about the difference between a sit-on-top and a sit-inside kayak. So if you don't know the differences, go check out that video. But a lot of times if someone starts out in one, they prefer that way because they're more comfortable in it. Or things to consider too, if you have any injuries, if you have knee replacements or arthritis, have a hard time getting into a smaller cockpit, sometimes a sit-on-top is the best route for you. So that's another thing to consider. And on the injury thing, you have to think about things like arthritis, wrist problems, because that gets into the paddle you choose as well. So that is another question. If you have any injuries that might affect the style and type of kayak you're going to need to buy. So the next question I would get into going off of that is, how are you going to transport your kayak? Is it going to be just you? What vehicle are you going to be transporting it on? I am putting out another video soon about different ways to transport your kayak, so look out for that. It'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. But something to consider is, like I said, if you're the only one carrying your kayak, you might need something lighter. You might need to get a cart. Can you lift a kayak on top of your car if you need to, or in the bed of your truck, or inside your van, or on a trailer? So there's so many different ways to transport a kayak, and like I said, I will have a video out on that, but it is something to consider. If you'll always have somebody helping you, then you can explore maybe heavier kayak options, or getting a trailer or different mounts. Anyways, you have to consider how you're going to be transporting your kayak and how often, which leads into my next question. How often are you going to go kayaking? Is it something you just want to do a few times in the summer with your family, just recreational fun? Or is it a sport you're wanting to get into more seriously, more touring, traveling different places, exploring different areas on the water? And that could also help you decide how much you're willing to invest into the sport is how much you're wanting to get into it. Also, if you have never gone kayaking and you don't know, highly recommend maybe renting out a kayak somewhere. We do rentals here. If you're interested, definitely come check us out if you're in Arizona. But you definitely should get a little bit of experience before you just go buy something, just to get the feel of it. Maybe you want to try a sit on top and a sit inside. Definitely try renting out some kayaks first. So as I was kind of talking about before with transportation, and if you're the only one carrying your kayak, like I said, you can get a cart, but you have to think about, are you going to just be going to docks and to boat ramps, or are you going to have to hike through trails to get to your water source where you're going to be kayaking? Like I said, you might need a cart, or you might need a super light kayak to make it easier to get into those areas, or maybe even an inflatable, depending on what you're looking for. So that is another question, like majority of the places you're planning to go kayak, is there easy access, or are you gonna have to hike or transport down hills and stuff? So something to think about. So the next thing to think about is what is your weight capacity, and I'm not just talking about how much you weigh, but any gear you're planning to take, tackle boxes, picnics, coolers with drinks, camping gear, your dog maybe, anything that you are planning to put in the kayak with you or on the kayak with you, how much is the weight of all that gonna be, and you don't want to be cutting it close. So figure out kind of what your weight capacity is gonna be, and you'll have to look and find obviously kayaks that will support that, of course. And yeah, if you're looking for a tandem, if you want a 2-person kayak, you have to also calculate you and whoever is going to mainly be kayaking with you, your weight, and anything you're bringing with you. Another question to think about is if you travel a lot and you're wanting to take your kayak with you, maybe an inflatable might be a good option, or something that's smaller but still sturdy enough and fits your needs, that's easy for you to transport. Or if you're camping a lot, there's just a lot of possibilities on the type of kayak that will fit you best, and so you definitely want to look into all these different needs. And of course, you're going to want to consider your budget, but I will try to sway you to look into the different styles and types of kayaks that best fit your needs, especially if it's something you're getting into and going to want to be doing a lot. You're going to want to invest in quality and what works best for your lifestyle and your paddling. And of course, you're going to have to consider things like I kind of talked about before, what style of paddle you want, if you want a super light one, if it's something you're going to be doing all the time, or if you're just getting one for the family to go out on, then you can get more of a basic paddle. Like I said, transportation is a huge thing, so if your car is not fit to transport kayaks, you're going to have to look into some way to make it capable of transporting kayaks. So there are more than just the kayak to consider in your budget, but you definitely want to get what's best for you and what suits you best. So I wouldn't cut off your options just because of your budget. Maybe look into, figure out what works best for you, what would be best for you in your scenario. So no matter what, you get the best kayak fit for you and you're a happy paddler. So I hope these questions help you think of different things you haven't thought about before. Maybe you have thought about all these things. Good on you. You know what you're looking for. But if not, maybe that helped you think about it a little bit more and consider your options. There's so many different brands and styles. I definitely recommend looking into reviews if you're shopping online or looking online. You're always more than welcome to come in the shop and ask us questions here in Pine Top. We are more than happy to answer. We can answer questions about all different styles, inflatable, fishing, sit inside, sit on top, sleek, fast ones, or more just recreational. So definitely comment down below, message us. We can answer your questions or come in and say hi. We're more than happy to see you. And if you're too far away to come see us, then definitely look at reviews and try to find what fits best for you and your family, whoever's kayaking with you, or maybe it's just you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I will see you next time.